05's attention. Picture this, a lone gray hair strand melting back to its original shade, live in real time. 510's authority. I'm Walter Crane. I've spent 10 years tearing apart health tech hype for investigative mags and documentaries. 1015's agenda. In this video, you'll tour the lab that vows a miracle, hear the exact whisper the scientist drops, and uncover the hidden data the industry won't publish. 1530's disclaimer. The next sequence is a dramatization built on real research and public statements. Names, locations, and dialogue have been tweaked to shield sources. 3045 source. Recent peer-reviewed work shows that NAD+ precursors can improve mitochondrial function and may blunt age-related metabolic decline. Source. A dimly lit laboratory hums with the low whine of chilled centrifuges. A woman in her early 40s sits at a workstation, her dark hair stark against the sterile white of the bench. She pulls a single silver-gray filament from her ponytail, holding it between thumb and forefinger. The camera lingers, the focus tightening until the strand dominates the frame. The room seems to hold its breath. Dr. Elias Voss, clad in a crisp lab coat, steps forward. He slides a small amber vial across the stainless steel surface. "This is the reversal serum," he murmurs, voice barely above the ambient hiss. "One dose and your gray will vanish permanently." The vial catches the overhead light, emitting a faint, almost phosphorescent glow. The woman's eyes widen, a flicker of hope battling a flicker of doubt. She lifts the vial, the amber liquid swirling like a captured sunrise. She brings it to her lips, pauses, then drinks. The camera stays on her face as seconds crawl by. Her brow furrows, not with joy, but with confusion. A subtle tremor runs through her hand. The first noticeable change is not a burst of pigment, but a tightening of the skin around her eyes, as if the serum is demanding a price before delivering any promise. A faint, almost imperceptible tremor ripples through the hair shaft she just plucked. The gray strand, still clutched between her fingers, begins to darken, but the surrounding follicles remain unchanged. A split screen flashes. On the left, the woman's hair. On the right, a graph of mitochondrial activity rising after NAD+ supplementation. Source. The visual juxtaposition is deliberate, a reminder that the serum's chemistry is marketed as a boost to cellular powerhouses. Yet the lab's ambient lighting flickers, casting long shadows that crawl across the workbench. "Watch closely," Dr. Voss says, his tone shifting from confident to clinical. He taps a tablet, pulling up a study on BRAF-MAP inhibition that restored melanocyte stem cell activity in mice. Source. In rodents, blocking that pathway can reverse graying. We've engineered a small molecule that mimics the effect in humans. The tablet's screen glows, reflecting off his glasses. The woman's hand trembles again, this time more pronounced. The gray strand, now darkening at its base, seems to resist the change, as if the pigment is anchored deep within the follicle. A low-frequency hum rises from the equipment, a subtle auditory cue that something is amiss. A sudden, sharp intake of breath pierces the silence. The woman's eyes dart to a monitor displaying a live cell assay. The assay shows an uptick in NAD+ levels, but alongside it, a spike in reactive oxygen species, an indicator of cellular stress. The camera cuts to a close-up of the assay's fluorescent readout, the colors shifting from calm blues to alarming reds. "Your mitochondria are firing on all cylinders," Dr. Voss says, his smile thin. "That's the point." The woman's face tightens. The earlier hope is now a knot of dread. She watches the gray strand, which, despite darkening, remains stubbornly gray at the tip. The serum's promised permanent reversal appears to be a conditional clause written in invisible ink. A text overlay pops up. FDA warning. The agency has repeatedly cautioned that many anti-aging products make unsubstantiated claims and are not approved as drugs. Source. The overlay fades, but the warning lingers in the viewer's mind. The woman reaches for a second vial, identical in appearance, and hesitates. The lab's fluorescent lights flicker again, casting intermittent shadows that dance across the walls. In that staccato rhythm, the scene feels less like a controlled experiment and more like a trap set by market forces eager to monetize hope. A final cut shows a close-up of the woman's scalp. The gray strand, now darker at the root, remains partially silver. The camera pulls back, revealing the lab's full expanse shelves of glass bottles, racks of incubators, and a wall of data screens scrolling endless numbers. The ambient sound is a low, throbbing pulse, echoing the beat of a heart that refuses to be pacified by a single dose. Science, Dr. Voss whispers, is a promise, not a guarantee. The words hang in the air as the woman's gaze settles on the half-reversed hair, a visual metaphor for the half-truth sold in glossy supplement ads. The scene fades to black, leaving the viewer with a single, unsettling question. If the serum can darken a gray strand, why does it leave the rest untouched? And more importantly, what hidden cost does the body pay for that fleeting